Yes, that comes under the bit I said about characteristics, the way a person walks. If you can put those in, it does help a little bit because, for instance, we know that Alan Ladd, who was a very short man but often asked to play major hero roles, he had to stand on a bloody box to kiss women. Now, I mean, obviously I'm not going to draw a box with him standing on it because that's the props department and the director's job to make sure they marry their ideas on this. But were I to draw him in, I'd have to lie in my picture. Say, for instance, this is a lady that Alan Ladd's got to kiss. Now, what I would draw him in now is at the height the camera is going to pick him up at. My duty is no more than that. If I'm going to draw the Hunchback of Notre Dame, who's dragging 1 foot behind him, there is no harm whatsoever in giving him a characteristic, obviously with his hump. And there's no harm where this is a medium close-up shot, when suddenly the camera flicks back and he's in the distance and he's advancing along one of the corridors at Notre Dame, we'd have his hump there and he's moving and coming forward like that, his little jacket on, and one of his legs could be dragging, and that characteristic could be carried on right through all the drawings of him. There was a time in the 60s when people actually started using comics, when the cheaper sort of forms of printing and that became available, and actually started making comics of stills from films. I don't think it got, I think it died on its feet, the idea. There's the opening shot starts with the camera giving the view of this housestead, this building. Yeah. I say housestead means outbuildings as well. Then the camera stops viewing that and comes in with a middle close-up of 2 people. Then, because it's a ditto shot, but changes focus, all I put underneath is focus on Matgerd, and which is one of the characters, the foreground character. If you looked at the last picture, it's clear who is Matgerd. Here we are. And we don't have to move the actors or think beyond that.
I was just going to add, I mean, you were talking about photographs, and I think I have mentioned this before, but I don't know if I've ever brought the sheets so that everyone can see them. This was actually a computer program that that we downloaded, which is now expired. It was just a trial version, and you can see here what is actually possible. I mean, this was a basic thing. You could actually use your own pictures to put in, but it sets up with whatever ratio of the screen that you're using, first off. It allows you to actually drag characters into the positions. These characters, as they're drawn, are actually like as they are here. There are various different versions of them turning, you know, and facing us or turning away. For example, this one here, where she's actually got her back to us. We've put in straight lines here to symbolise floor, window, a tree, a table. We couldn't find a telephone, that's a glass. Each individual piece of these people, the head, in fact, every bit of outline, the hair, the face, the shirt, the arms, the trousers, they can actually be separated and swapped over and change colour as well. Yeah, so you can literally just pull them, you know, take them off and replace another bit. You know, you could actually take her skirt there, for example, you know, and put it on somebody else. So you can actually, these characters, although that's obviously male and that's female, they are interchangeable to a degree as well.
An immediate thing that occurs to me is that you haven't got the elasticity of animation that you're allowed by personal skill. Mm. You are stuck with what you've got in your box, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. But for somebody again that that can't draw, at least it's a way of getting it, and maybe that could be the director could actually put something together like this and take to somebody like a storyboard artist to actually cut down the amount of time it takes, so that he knows what it looks like, combining it with pictures of the cast, and there you go. This is a different kind of view. This actually shows you a bit more smaller pictures, but a bit more detail as to what's actually going in, even room to write in if you don't actually have all the information to print in. And then finally, we've only done 2 shots, of course, here, but I mean this would be a whole page. You've actually got an actual sequence. This is basically a shot list together with a small version of the storyboard. And that's a nice little idea, I think, overall, to you know, for a shot list. I don't know how often that's actually used, but I mean, say for example you did have a shot list and a storyboard, it'd be great actually for some of the, for example, like a PA that needed to keep track of what's going on. In other words, doesn't need an awful lot of detail, unlike the camera person, to actually shrink them down.
Roughly, what would a program for doing that cost, actually?
I think that program was about $30. Invariably, all these things are available from the US and not from Britain. So.
There's a little background on it as well, wasn't there? You could make them stand on a beach and things like that.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yeah, there was. Funny one.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Peter.
Thank you.